What up? This Sun Chris. It's a long time I ain't been with y'all niggas, man. But today also we're about to do a reaction, reacting to scary, horror scary shows. Let's head out to it. Click the plus button. Ouch, my eye. And that's a bad comment, man. I ain't been here for a while. That's why I'm just playing. All right, let's go ahead though. Let's click the plus button, like it for me, subscribe. Let's please take me to at least like 100 viewers on this one. 100 viewers, and the next one gonna drop. I ain't dropped for a long time, but carry me to 100 viewers. The next one gonna drop. The next one gonna be lit. All right, let's head.
Little background. I was 10 years old when this took place, and I lived in a smaller city in northeast Ohio. I lived in an apartment complex, but the buildings were up and down duplexes, and there were multiple of them. I lived downstairs in one of these buildings. My dad was out of town for a couple of weeks, and the night this story took place, my mom was working. I have 3 siblings, and my next door neighbor was babysitting my 2 younger siblings, while me and my 8-year-old sister, who I'll call A, were at the same neighbor's house, hanging out with the neighbor's daughter. At around 9:30 p.m., A and I went back to our house. We were at home for about 15 minutes, until someone knocked at the door. We both just thought it was...
Man, y'all dumb. I know y'all dumb ass teenagers. Y'all kids, y'all gonna go open the door, man. I know it, but let's go ahead though.
was one of the neighbors. I told A to look through the people before opening the door.
That's smart.
She did, and she then looked at me, and she was kind of confused, then telling me, "I don't know who that is." I moved her out of the way and then looked for myself. I didn't know who it was either.
Sheesh, it's going lit though. It's going lit. Where it's going right now, like it look like it's gonna go fire. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead though. Let's go ahead.
Happened to be a man who looked to be in his 40s, maybe early 50s.
Damn, this nigga really look dirty.
Jeans with dirty Timberland boots. I backed away from the door, and both me and A were pretty confused. I opened the door, but demanded...
Bro, who the hell's opened the door, bro? Like, that's why them niggas... What color are they, though? I know black niggas ain't gonna go open the door. I know them niggas smart to open the door, man. Man, if I do not know them niggas, I ain't open it for what you need. What you need in my house for? Maybe. And how does this nigga know his mom or his dad not here? He comes to knock on their door. That's like mostly all of these doors. Like in every scary show, like there's the people that comes do not knock on other people's door. How do they know that they're home alone, and then they come and knock on their door? Like, unless they've been spying on them for years. When you think about it. let's head it.
Didn't say his name, but then introduced himself as my grandfather's friend. He said that he knew my dad too. Me and A kind of laughed and then talked to him a little.
Talk to him a little. I told y'all niggas I'm not opening the door. Like, I'm not opening the door. If I do not know the person, first I'm gonna call my mom and my dad to say, hey mom, hey dad, that's this blah 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 person in the door, and that never mind. What? Before I even open the door, I'll call them, and then I'll be like, this person, like, they can't see the person, so you can't really do that. But I will just ask to open the door or not, and then if they say no, don't open it, my boy. Let's go.
We were trying to end the conversation so that he'd leave, but he then asked if my mom was home, and me being a dumb kid.
Yeah, you being a dumb kid said no, she's not at home. You being a dumb kid. Think smart, man. Like I told ya, don't think hard, think smart. I'm always, yeah, feel me?
I told him no. He told me he had talked to my mom earlier that day, and that he wanted to come hang out with us, and that he wanted to see my mom. I didn't know what to say to him, and I just told him, "Oh, well, she isn't here, so you can't." He then asked, "Well, why don't I come inside and wait with you guys until she..."
Hell nah. Hell nah. Hell nah.
Comes home. I'm sure she wouldn't be upset. As soon as he finished talking, my phone started to ring, and I jumped because it kind of spooked me. I looked at the man and then told him, "That's probably her calling. I'll ask her if you can come in." And I then shut the door and slowly locked it so he wouldn't know that I locked it. I also wasn't going to ask if he could come in, but it wasn't my mom calling. It was my best friend at the time who lived a few buildings down from me. Let's call her Jay. Jay had called and told me that her mom was on the porch and had seen the strange man talking to us, and that before he knocked on the door, her mom had seen the man looking through her windows. She told me that her mom called the cops already, and Jay asked me if there was any way we could get out and make it to her house. There was a way. I told A to follow me, and we went to the back of our house to our bedroom we shared. I opened the window, and I told her to go out of it, and then I went afterwards. I shut the window, and we went behind the buildings all the way to Jay's house without the man seeing us.
Man, y'all smart. Y'all kid smart. I'm gonna give y'all the credit. Y'all smart on this one. I'm gonna give y'all the credit.
When we were then inside of Jay's living room, waiting for the police and my mom to arrive, the police came before my mom, and they talked to us, and they then searched our house. But the man was gone. He was nowhere to be seen, not even around the apartment complex. They said they'd patrol the area and let us know if they find him. The police said other than that, they couldn't really do anything. My mom came home and she said about how earlier that day, before she went to work, that her and her upstairs neighbor went into the store to go get some cigarettes. My mom took my baby brother with her, and he was in the stroller. When they were leaving the store, a man came up to my mom and said my brother looked familiar, and he asked who my dad was. Now, my dad's side of the family is really big, and a lot of people know them, and we all look alike. My mom only told the man that my dad's first name was Frank. The man then said our last name, which my mom didn't tell him, and he asked if that was our last name. My mom then kind of laughed at him and said yes. The man said he knew my grandpa. My mom didn't really say too much to him after that, and she said she had to leave because she had to go to work in a couple of hours. She said she had a really bad feeling, so that her and my neighbor took a few extra turns just in case, but he must have followed her home anyways though. That night,